Well, hello there. I just want to make a quick video. I won't keep you for long. And I guess you can tell, as the title suggests, that it's one of my video game videos. So even if you're not a fan of video games, I thought I just wanted to make this video, I guess, a follow-up to my City of David video game idea. Basically the idea of using an actual game, something that people love, as a way to teach history. Like even here in the game, I have a mod that changes the coins to be accurate. If you're in a dungeon and you fight some monster that's thousands of years old, he won't have modern coins on him, which is something the game didn't get off the bat. Now in the storyline idea, I would think that the player would start like Morrowind, you know, fresh off the boat, some rando, you know, not like this here, my character's player home in Solitude, the capital city of Skyrim. So while I'm using this player home new character save of mine in my game, it's just to represent as an example for my idea for the City of David. Not unlike the Enderal game, which is a game unto itself, but only a mod, you know, what you can do with modding. And so even just getting out here of my player home and into the city, this capital city, which is supposed to be massive, and there's basically like under 100 buildings. So with mods, I've managed to increase it quite a bit. There's the Dragonborn mod, which adds a museum here you do quests for. And there's a couple other mods I got in, like the Wolfgar mod and the Secret Vampire Cult, Underground Solitude. But basically as an example, or like I said, the game Enderal, to have it mostly take place in a historically accurate version of the City of David. Or if the game started during the battle where David killed Goliath, and then later leading into the building of his city, the idea that most of the quests could be involved there, like Morrowind, the royal family faction quests with a few guild quests, where the only way to do it up properly would be to have multiple playthroughs. You couldn't do it all in one playthrough. Maybe one guild might be at war with another guild. And in the end, you end up building yourself up to becoming a mighty one of David, a Trine Dynatine, you know, that goes out and fights Nephilim giants. No adult-themed, lusty kind of garbage. Which begs the question, you know, finding modders to help a guy out do this? I don't know. I'm an idea man. I don't know what else to do. I'd like to learn how to do the modding. Or like here even, this vampire in the game there. She just snuck into that building because I guess, you know, daylight, right? In the game, you'd only be fighting Nephilim and monsters. No human casualties, PG-13, like these two buildings here. They're not in the core Skyrim. There's this massive underground dungeon to explore. It's pretty sweet. You can fight vampires and monsters. But even like just there, the entrance there, that's just a mod. That's not part of the original game. And so having my idea where it's in this city, I'd have to draw out the actual map, no problem. Designing the cities on paper, that's easy, that's fun. And then even the quest ideas, you know, you got faction houses and guild factions, all kind of at odds with each other, some of them working together, some of them enemies. And within this city you wander around doing all the quests. Because even if you check out the capital city in Enderal, it's massive. In this one, it's just, you know, built on the rocks here along the shore. And you would normally show up right here at the time of this execution. But the idea of a game that teaches history, or biblical history, while staying within the confines of the city, for the most part.
By opening that gate for Ulfric, you betrayed the people of Solitude.
He doesn't deserve to speak!
There was no murder. Ulfric challenged Thorin. He beat the High King in fair combat.
But even like this bit here, coming out of Solitude in Skyrim, it was nothing pretty much. Just the outskirts in the town, the farm, and the cart where you could hire rides to other cities, other holds. This whole mod here adds these walls, adds all these extra bits, the trees and whatnot. This is all modded additions to my game or whatever. But again, it just serves to inspire or be an example for my idea. So, I mean, like I was saying before, I could come up with all the ideas I want. If I didn't have a team of modders, how I would go about achieving that end is beyond me. How I would go about getting a team of modders to help me, maybe a GoFund account. You could slip some people some money, pay people, hire people. Do it like a professional gig, you know? Learn what I can about modding? Sure. Much like even after the design and the creation is done, playtesting and working the bugs out, like two mods conflicting here. These trees obviously shouldn't be poking up out of the rooftops of this building. So even me here, using the console commands just to delete them as I go, whatever. But the rest of it, I don't really know how to design this stuff per se. I don't even have a decent computer to do it all. I can only imagine, much less guys like the Skyblivion team or even the Fallout teams that are trying to recreate old games in the Fallout 4 engine. It really, I guess, would just come down to money, you know, to create a project, to be the head producer, whatever. Other than the one big hurdle of actually putting together a production team to do this stuff up, not unlike Enderal, the rest of it would actually be pretty easy. That's the thing about Skyrim and Fallout. It's designed to be modded. It's designed to be played with, to make your own games with. Or even looking up there at the cliff where we started in the video, the Solitude player home. And I just thought, yeah, the idea of being able to teach actual history, Earth history. Like in my first video about this, I go into talking about the things in Skyrim, the high fantasy things that would have to go, the star charts, the level progression, the magic, whatnot, replaced with what would be normal human history. And any supernatural monsters you would fight would be like Nephilim, Nephilim undead, Nephilim giants. In the Bible, the undead types, the skeletons and the zombies, were referred to as the walking dead ones, or the Raphaim, which were also a species of giants, but not all Nephilim are giants. However, all that being said, getting back to this video footage just as an example, I guess another problem I would have, much like the Skyblivion team and others would have, is what happens if you need to downgrade. With all these recent Skyrim and Fallout updates, it's almost like Bethesda wants to mess with the modding community, because some of them have taken major hits, and the question would then become, will you have to downgrade the game or download it from GOG or Steam in some other fashion just to get the game to play? Because you take a thing like video games, which most people want to play, and you use it as a vehicle to teach history or a lesson that they're not teaching in school. All this biblical history about, you know, even things like Jim Staley's seminar, Identity Crisis, the things we're not being taught about our history, who the nations really are, like Europe and the tribe of Dan and the royal families and everything. And so aside from logistical humps and hurdles, producing such a thing, paying people or finding modders out there who would be invested in the idea, like me, to help, you know, it's doable. It's very possible. I mean, maybe I could win the lottery, whatever, I don't know. Inherit some money from some long-lost relative I don't know about, and go into game production a bit like this. But it would definitely have to be done on the Skyrim engine. I don't think the Fallout engine would work as well. But that being said, just using this game, my game here, as an example to show, with mods you can do anything in Skyrim and Fallout. And so I guess that was just one of my many ideas I thought as a way to spread the word, the gospel, proofs for the Bible, incorporate it into the storylines. Things like even the Kandahar Giant, recent things that were going on in the Middle East since the war and 9/11 and whatnot going down. All this can be used as a mighty vehicle to teach actual history. But sadly, most people want to stay in the fantasy worlds. I don't really go for that, so I thought, here I am, making this video. But I guess this video's over. So that's all I gotta say about that. Peace out, baby.